NJPW Academy at the LA Dojo. Looking to start your journey or add to your existing knowledge? NJPW Academy is the place to be. There's only one place to get New Japan strong, and that's the NJPW Academy. Head to NJPW1972.com for more information.
I want you for NJPW Academy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo right here in Southern California. I'm Mark Warzeka. I am thrilled to be back here in the dojo. Thrilled to be back for another Academy Showcase. And I am thrilled to be introducing my commentary partner for tonight, rocking the New Japan colors, making his debut in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's Jordan Castle.
Mark Warzeka, thank you for the warm welcome, my friend. I'm so thrilled to be here alongside you under the umbrella of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Though I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill here tonight. Because last time in the broadcast booth, you were joined by one Azucard Rocky Romero. Tonight, Rocky trading in the headset for his wrestling boots, head-to-head with the aerial chemist Matt Vandagriff in our main event, a New Japan Strong Showcase.
Yes.
When it comes to the world of New Japan Strong, that's not all. We have stars like the DKC in the house. Bateman is in the house. Former New Japan Strong openweight champion, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, is in the house.
This is one of the most unique cards you're ever going to see in not only New Japan Pro Wrestling, but pro wrestling in general. We've got students who've just graduated the academy. We've got alumni returning to wrestle here tonight. And we've got these superstar coaches you were just mentioning. Jordan, 8 great matches in all.
I think they've heard us yapping about it enough, Mark. I think it's time we take it to ringside and get things kicked off.
Let's go to ringside.
Tonight's opening match, singles contest, one fall with a 5-minute time limit.
Welcome once again. I'm Mark Warzeka, live at ringside here in Southern California as the newest class of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Academy looks to end on a high note as camp finishes strong right here in the NJPW LA Dojo. And I'm at ringside alongside my commentary partner for tonight, Jordan Castle.
Mark, it is always exciting under the New Japan umbrella, but tonight, that much more so. A look towards the future of NJPW.
Blue corner, 5 foot 6 inches, 155 pounds, Hex!
Fans, we're so excited to have you with us for this really special event in New Japan Pro Wrestling, this sort of graduation, this culmination of this class of the Academy.
And you know, we mentioned, Mark, in our intro that we will see former alumni of the Academy, that we will see superstar trainers and coaches. But tonight, these are 2 graduates of the summer class.
That's right.
Red corner, 5 foot 7 inches, 208
that's what we got
pounds,
here.
Angus Legstrong!
Angus Legstrong getting right in the face of his opponent.
Such intensity from both Legstrong and Hex.
Your
It's
referee
almost
for this contest, Chad Rico.
as referee Chad Rico signals for the bell. It's almost indicative of a young lion matchup. You see the very basic, the very rudimentary black gear. There's no frills here between Legstrong or Hex. It is all about that training that they have endured over the course of the last 3 months.
There's a lot on the line for these students, now graduates of this camp. They've been in camp here for about 3 months. And this, as I mentioned, is sort of the graduation ceremony. They're not getting caps and gowns. They're coming down here to kick some butt.
There's no pomp and circumstance tonight, Mark. Of course, Angus Legstrong, a member of 2 conference championships at Pitt, one of the top D1 wrestling programs in the country, extensive training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and catch wrestling. That accolade, that accomplishment, that pedigree, coupled with his 50-plus pound weight advantage, you see, paying dividends here against Hex. But Hex, able to transition here.
We expected technical wrestling in this match. We expected mat wrestling in this match. We're getting that so far. It's so great to be back in the dojo, and Jordan, it's so rare for the dojo to be open to the public like this. This is one of the rare occasions that sort of civilians are allowed into this sacred space.
It speaks to the importance of this event as Hex taken down there by Legstrong, and Legstrong with great control of that arm here. We're seeing that collegiate wrestling experience come into play, but it speaks to the importance of this event. New Japan Pro, cover here, shoulders down. New Japan Pro Wrestling knows that this is, in many ways, this has the potential to be the future of NJPW. Such a historic, prestigious organization. They want fans to have that opportunity before anyone else has the ability.
Yes, and even with that being said, tickets were very limited to this event. Very limited availability. So there's a group of lucky fans here who are able to be here live for the
Shoulders down once again.
3 minutes remain in the match. 3 minutes.
Of course, you hear ring announcer Adnan Qureshi announcing the times. Leg hook. Oh, no, hold on. Thought we're going to see a cover here. Leg hooked for Angus Legstrong, but Hex able to get those shoulders up. Time limit so important in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Whether it's the G1 tournament where time limits are crucial.
Oh, shoulders down, as I mentioned. Could be over. No. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Mark.
Hex kept the legs around, worked his way around, and now he's got the arm.
That's the thing. Hex, with the size disadvantage, with the weight disadvantage, has got to use that quickness, has got to use that craftiness to neutralize someone like Angus Legstrong. That's not just a fun, fancy nickname. His legs are indeed strong, and as he muscles Hex into the ropes, you can see that on full display.
He does not skip leg down. Does not skip leg
But clearly, Hex does not either, as he was able to muscle him down there.
2 minutes remain in the match. 2 minutes.
They've only got 2 minutes left here before they're going to hit the short time limit in this opening match. And tonight, we've got a very, very interesting... Oh, nice! Slam!
Shoulders down into a cover! But a kick out from Hex.
Very interesting and special card. We have graduates taking on graduates. We have graduates at times taking on alumni of this academy. We also have graduates taking on...
Body slam leg hooked here from Legstrong. But only a 2.
Superstar teachers and coaches are going to be here tonight, like Fred Rosser, like Rocky Romero, like the DKC, like Bateman.
Yeah, so exciting to not only see the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but the men and women who really molded these graduates, really molded these alumni into the wrestlers you see. Because, Mark, they're not the same wrestlers that they were when they stepped into the academy, when they stepped into the dojo 3 months ago.
This is a transformational experience as we see the single leg. And
1 minute remaining in the match.
And maybe a
1 minute.
grab on its way.
Hex.
We've got 1 minute left.
Hex doing everything he can to use that weight. Legstrong trying to transition over. Center of the ring, great position for the Boston Crab, but now Hex with the legs right where he wants them. Legstrong just so big, just so strong, so much mass here for Hex to contend with.
Hex as we're seeing this sort of signature...
30 seconds remain in the match. 30 seconds.
These athletes can hear Adnan. They can hear the ring announcer. They know that time is ticking, that they have seconds left to clench out a victory. That's got to be weighing on him here as Legstrong escapes.
Use that lower body power and use the size advantage.
This one's
10,
so even
9,
keel.
8, 7, 6,
Legstrong doing everything
5,
he can. Hex
4,
doing everything he can,
3,
but I don't
2,
think it'll be enough.
1.
Time limit draw in our opening contest here on the
The
Academy
time limit
Showcase. And they
has
don't
elapsed.
stop.
This match is a draw.
Referee Chad Rico really having to get in there and muscle these guys back from
Mark,
each
can
other.
you blame these guys? They spent 3 months of their lives training at the highest level possible in the craft of professional wrestling, and finally we see a show of respect. But it is understandable they'd be a little frustrated with neither of them clenching out a victory.
Yes, and it's a good reminder, Jordan, that yes, this is an academy showcase. Yes, these wrestlers want to show off what they've been learning. But that doesn't mean that wins and losses don't matter. Everybody wants the win tonight.
So we talked about superstar coaches. We talked about high-level New Japan personnel watching. Wins matter.
Wins matter. And especially for these, graduates taking on other graduates, there's going to be a
Second
lot of
match.
pressure on
Singles
these graduates
contest.
who are taking
One
on
fall
their
with a
teachers,
15-minute
their
time
mentors and
limit.
matches here tonight. And we've got one of those coming up right now.
And I gotta tell you, Mark, this is one of the most exciting prospects, in my opinion, one of the most exciting graduates of the NJPW Academy, not just because of his pedigree in the ring, but because of his personal history. This man, a groundbreaking trailblazer.
5 foot 7 inches, 160 pounds, the essence of Dubai, Shaheen!
Much like Angus wasn't just called Legstrong as a fancy nickname, Shaheen, not simply referred to as the essence of Dubai because he is from Dubai, because it's a fun-sounding name. It's because he literally cultivated a wrestling scene in Dubai and in the greater Middle East as a whole.
People have called him the Lou Fez of Dubai. He's created a wrestling scene there where there was not one before. It's really remarkable.
And you want to talk about a man who's world traveled, Mark Warzeka.
Speaking of remarkable.
Shaheen's seen a lot. He's been everywhere from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia to Malaysia to Qatar to Scotland to Canada, Wales to Germany. I am not sure if he's ever seen anyone as big and bad as Mr. No Days Off.
Red corner, 6 foot 1 inches, 238 pounds, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser!
Is 8,338 miles from home. He's following a path that ignites his passion and purpose. This path,
Your referee for this contest, Justin Borden.
This path has led him to a pro wrestling superstar, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser.
And it's worth pointing out, to peel the curtain back a little bit, Mark, Fred was originally not scheduled to compete on this showcase. Of course, he is the head coach of the advanced class here at NJPW Academy. Originally, he was supposed to be alongside us in the commentary booth, but he saw Shaheen, he saw the dedication he had to travel, as you said, over 8,000 miles away from home. He saw his acumen in the ring as a high flyer, and he said, you know what? This guy deserves a match against Mr. No Days Off, against a former New Japan Strong Openweight champion, and that's exactly what he's getting here.
For these fresh,
Perhaps getting much to his chagrin, it's just laid up over that top rope by Rosser.
for these fresh graduates, as here comes Rosser. Misses the boots.
That's that quickness of Shaheen. That's what stood out. That's what really compelled Fred Rosser, in addition to that commitment to take this matchup. And look at that, a springboard enziguri kick, sending Rosser to the
If
outside.
he's going to have a chance at all in this match, Shaheen, he's got to stick and move like he is right now. He's got to use his speed.
We heard Adnan announce the weights. You don't even need Mr. Qureshi, because we can clearly see Fred with the weight advantage, with the power advantage, but right now, it's not helping him.
Fred Rosser had a fantastic run as New Japan Strong Openweight champion.
And right now it's Shaheen with a fantastic run off the ropes, taking Rosser down with springboard offense.
And openweight
One.
is the operative word in
Two.
that reign that Rosser had. He's
Three.
all comers, whether it's giants like
Four.
Leo, whether it's junior
Five.
heavyweights like TJP.
6.
And now he's taking on a junior heavyweight
7.
like Shaheen, who is going to do his
8.
best to stay one step ahead of Rosser.
Of course,
9.
fans, it is worth noting the 20 count
10.
in play on the outside here, and Fred
11.
Rosser taking full advantage with clubbing
12.
blows to the back.
That's right, it's
13.
10 in New Japan Pro Wrestling, so all that sort of a 619 off the apron
A
there.
tiger feint kick of sorts. It seems like every time Fred Rosser tries to mount some type of advantage, Shaheen's quickness, Shaheen's speed is there to meet him.
Shaheen gave everything up at home in Dubai.
And look at this, Mark, just mocking Fred Rosser a little bit. And not only that, but Rosser, he's asking for it. He wants him to hit him harder. He wants to hit him more. And I do want to point out that double foot stomp there, of course, borrowed, drawing inspiration from his mentor. Springboard moonsault there, hook of the leg. Only a 2 count, kick out there, and immediately Shaheen transitioning into a crossface.
And as he climbs on that crossface, it's worth mentioning, I think, Jordan, that it's a unique relationship, I think, between the graduates and the coaches who will be wrestling each other here tonight. On one hand, as a coach, you want to see your students do
Oh, shoulders down, could steal it. No.
You want to see your students do well, but I don't know if you want them to do well enough that they beat you here tonight.
Yeah, and on the other side, on the operative side there, for someone like Shaheen, such a great deal of respect and reverence for someone like Fred Rosser for molding him into the wrestler we see here today over the course of the last 3 months. But at the same time, that reverence and respect only goes so far. If you can pick up a win over a former NJPW and New Japan World strong openweight champion, that's exactly what he's going to do. And look at this, bridging out is Shaheen.
Shaheen is the first wrestler from the UAE to compete globally. He said on X, I just quit my job to move to a different country to pursue my dream career. Am I crazy? Hell yeah. But I'm a crazy who's going to start this incredible new chapter of the NJPW Dojo. And here he is doing exactly that. And that's going to be the story with a lot of the wrestlers that we're going to see tonight, Jordan. They've left everything behind. They've quit jobs. They're away from their families for long periods of time. They've come thousands of miles to be here, to have this opportunity in this moment, in this dojo, right now.
You know, I mentioned a few moments ago when he hit that double foot stomp, Shaheen, the protege in many ways of one Prince Devitt, a man who, of course, NJPW fans are no stranger to.
Absolutely.
Former junior heavyweight champion, founding leader of the Bullet Club. Shaheen thanks Devitt for over 10 international excursions, and as we're seeing here, draws much of his offense from the Prince. But right now, Rosser has him right where he wants him.
Up high.
Maybe going for that Death Valley driver, but Shaheen able to evade.
Held on and Rosser right into the buckles. Look at Shaheen ready to fly again through the dojo. Oh! Flew right into a shoulder block.
I was going to say nobody home, but there indeed was somebody home. It was just big, bad Fred Rosser with a shoulder block. But I want to point out, Mark, barely left his feet when he hit. He stayed standing stock still, did Rosser.
Fred Rosser's had an unbelievable career.
5 minutes have elapsed. 5 minutes.
We see him in Ring of Honor. We know he's been a national television star for many years. And these student wrestlers have had a fantastic opportunity to get to learn from him and work with him these last few months here in the dojo.
If you only saw, or if you're only familiar, I should say, with Fred Rosser from his near decade on national television, it's worth pointing out that this is no South Beach party boy. There's no one to be made great again. Fred Rosser is great, and over the course of the last several years in New Japan Strong, as the coach of the advanced class here at the NJPW Academy, he has turned into a completely different wrestler, but right now it is Shaheen trying to turn his leg into mincemeat with those kicks.
Rosser wears gold everywhere he goes, and Shaheen, like so many of the other graduates we're going to see today, they're dreaming of that gold. But that dream is a long way away as Rosser completely unloads on Shaheen in the corner.
Something tells me that dream that you mentioned Shaheen has of men like Fred Rosser probably feels like a nightmare right about now. Rosser taking all that frustration he no doubt acquired after the opening minutes of this matchup on Shaheen, saying, if you can give it, you better be able to take it. Nice hip attack there from Rosser.
Shaheen turning black and blue in that blue corner, and Rosser is not gonna stop. Got him up high. You know he's got to be thinking eventually about that Emerald Flosion.
That sidewinder, as he calls it, but right now, torture rack position and just dump Shaheen down. My goodness.
Mr. No Days Off seems very pleased with where things stand at this point in the matchup. You know, with any of these wrestlers, these fresh faces, you never know if they're going to have a move.
Oh, come on, Mark. I don't mean to cut you off, but look at this. Rosser just twisting Shaheen against the corner post. This is sick.
I'm a little bit surprised at this, Jordan. I really am.
We mentioned the respect and the reverence that these men have for each other after the last 3 months they spent as student and trainer, but it seems as if all that has gone out the window.
Well, there's got to be a little element here for the coaches saying and showing the student wrestlers, the graduates, you want to get into this business? This is a tough business, and I'm going to show you how tough it's going to be.
Yeah, they often say you hit your friends a little bit harder. It's an old adage. You hit your friends a little bit harder because you know they can take it. Perhaps that's the same for teacher and student as Rosser just digs his knee into the lower back of Shaheen, his entire body weight digging into the back there.
Hammerlock. And again, leaning in, as you just said, Jordan put all the weight on. Shaheen's been in a bad way for a long time here. He's got to get some offense going or this match is going to be over very soon.
Yeah, he had that flurry in the early going, but it's often the case with these David versus Goliath matchups. The smaller man, the high flyer, the speedster will have the advantage in that early going, but the longer and longer the match goes on, as we're seeing here, the big man will take control. Now Rosser, maybe thinking sidewinder, but Shaheen lands on his feet and ducks the shot. Hey there!
Sort of a V trigger almost. He needed something, and Shaheen desperately now pulling himself up the ropes.
Perhaps going for that Peregrine plunge,
Watch
perhaps
out behind
going
ya.
for that wingspan cutter. We will never find out as Fred Rosser meets him at the pass. Once again, a flurry of clubbing blows to the back. And now perhaps the electric chair? No.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Mark, they are right in front of us here, man. This does not look good.
They are way up in the air in the dojo here. Shaheen could practically touch the ceiling. He could fix the air conditioning if we needed him to. He's up there.
This is not going to be good for someone, but Shaheen transitioning into a sunset flip power bomb.
The power bomb from up in the sky.
What elevation there from Shaheen, but he has to capitalize, crawling into the cover. But Rosser manages to kick out.
Kicked out with force as well. Almost sent Shaheen out to the floor with that kick out. Just letting him know, I'm still here, I'm still present. You haven't beat me yet.
And it speaks to the pedigree of both these graduates and these coaches that a match like this, the tide of a match like this, can turn at a moment's notice, Mark.
You know, it's fascinating as we see Shaheen here and all his innovative offense. He didn't grow up watching pro wrestling. He wasn't able to. He didn't have access to it. He eventually saw it when he was 8 years old.
Right now he has access to it, accessing Fred Rosser's neck. A sort of stunner reversal there on the ropes.
He used to track down magazines, VHS tapes, to be able to educate himself on professional wrestling. And they're in a bad part of town here out on the apron.
Oh, hold on. Fred Rosser trying to drop him back first on that apron. Catches the penalty kick and a chop almost to the gut there from Rosser. First time I've ever seen one of those.
As we get the 10-minute call, it's been 10 minutes of non-stop action. What pace in this contest.
Yeah, these men so evenly matched. They have an answer for everything. A match like this almost reminds me of a chess match, Mark. The way these men are reading each other's minds. And in many ways, Shaheen using that falcon vision, allowing him to read his opponents. Nice super kick there.
They're still out on the apron.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Shaheen looking for that cutter on the apron!
And it has been said many times, but it is worth saying again. The ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. It is nothing but a steel beam right there.
It's the hardest part of the ring canvas. You are absolutely right, my friend. And Fred Rosser just landed his entire body weight. All the torque from Shaheen on that neck.
Referee Justin Borden counting now as he must. I don't think a count-out's out of the question here, although Rosser is in a good position to roll back in, and he doesn't, breaks the count.
If you're Shaheen, you certainly don't want one victory against an opponent the caliber of Fred Rosser. And you're seeing here that fighting spirit continues. How apropos with Las Vegas right around the corner.
That's what we want to see. That's what these coaches want to see out of all these graduates.
Hold on.
Fighting spirit.
Shaheen looking for the stoop, and he lands it.
Double stomp. Here we go.
He's going to do it. He's going to beat Fred Rosser. No! That is as close a 2 count as you get, but the stoop, not the final blow. Not today for Shaheen.
Forward.
Look at this, such innovative submission offense here from Shaheen.
Can we see a submission here? Is it possible that Fred Rosser will tap or give up?
3 minutes remain in the match.
Only
3
3 minutes
minutes.
left. We might be on our way to another time limit draw.
Hold on, shoulders down. Kick out there from Shaheen.
Shaheen has been on a run here since he hit the big move off the top, that sunset flip powerbomb.
And now Rosser maybe looking for a deadlift German suplex. But Shaheen doing everything he can, elbows to the face to evade. He has been to Germany himself, and now going for that top rope cutter. But Rosser had an answer into the chicken wing, maybe thinking chicken wing STF.
There's no way out of this. There is no way out. He's going to have to tap, and Rosser's merciless with it.
You say there's no way out of it. Oh, I thought Shaheen might find a way. Indeed, he has.
Rosser switched tactics.
Every single out that Shaheen has looked for, Fred Rosser has found an answer for, but finally he escapes, and a huge kick to the back.
Shaheen is so fast. Another stomp.
Once again, shades of Prince Devitt here. Cover. But a kick out from Rosser, transitioning immediately.
The heavyweight, Fred Rosser, picks up the junior heavyweight and throws him up in the air. Wait a minute, another counter.
Covers fast and furious, back and forth, and this time Rosser gets it.
There it is. What a match. And what a
Time,
showing!
13 minutes and 14 seconds. Here is your winner, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser!
Fred Rosser is your winner, but the essence of Dubai,
Once again,
Shaheen
your winner
of
of
the
the
Sky,
Fred
had a hell of a
Rosser.
showing in this match.
You know, there can often be talks in showcases like these about this person is a rookie or this person is unseasoned, but what we just witnessed, Mark, are two masters of their craft on full display. What a matchup and what a show of respect. You know, we mentioned Fred Rosser making his Ring of Honor debut just a few days ago. The Code of Honor on full display here.
If we thought for 1 second that any of these coaches were going to go easy on any of the graduates tonight, I think it's clear that they are not. Fred Rosser did not hold back in any way whatsoever, and Shaheen held his own in a fantastically competitive matchup. Big round of applause for Shaheen. He deserves it. Impressive in this match.
Yeah, you know, Mark, if you're Zane Jay or Seabass Finn watching from backstage at the monitor, show of respect here from Shaheen, incredible performance. But if you are Zane Jay or Seabass Finn watching from backstage, you gotta have a little bit of a shiver sent down your spine knowing that Bateman and the DKC are gonna bring that kind of fight to you.
It's time to show up and show out. These coaches are going to function a little bit as gatekeepers, aren't
Match
they?
3.
They're
Singles
letting the
contest.
students know.
One fall with a
Listen,
15-minute
if you want to get in this
time limit.
business, you got to be able to hang. You got to be able to handle guys like me.
And we talk about coach versus student. Here comes a student in every sense of the word. Only 6 months of training under his belt. All of it exclusively here at the NJPW Academy. Tonight, making his professional wrestling debut.
That's Zane Jay, and a story you're going to hear a lot tonight, fans.
Blue corner, 6'1", 210 pounds, Zay Jay!
Packed up everything. He drove out to LA with nothing but his trunk and his camper 1 year ago. And now he's here. And Jordan, we were talking before the show, how often do you get to see a professional wrestler's actual debut match? This is not just his New Japan debut. This is Zane Jay's debut match ever.
Yeah, I was going to say, you say that we're going to hear this story several times, but I know what you mean about packing everything up, betting on yourself. But I think it's safe to say this is the only 6-month trainee who will be making his professional wrestling debut. Unprecedented. And to do it on a stage like NJPW, to do it against an opponent like the DKC, a graduate of this dojo himself. I've never seen it before. I'm not sure if we'll ever see it again.
DKC making his way to the ring.
Red corner, LA Dojo, the Eternal, the DKC!
He made his New Japan debut during Lions Break Collision. And yeah, he trained here too, as you mentioned, Jordan, right here in this dojo under Katsuyori Shibata.
Yeah, a little guy called the
Our
Wrestler.
referee for this contest, Taito Nakabayashi.
And we're happy to have Taito here with us, our referee. Now, and from Japan, Taito spends half his year in the U.S., half his year in Japan, and you see him reffing.
Yeah, you know, all jokes aside, Katsuyori Shibata, the current Ring of Honor Pure Champion, one of the very best in the world, and DKC learned from him. Talk about the cycle being completed. DKC learning from Shibata, and now Zane Jay learning from DKC, who looks to put him away very, very quickly. The youngster, the rookie, a little too quick for that.
It is Zane Jay's first professional wrestling match right now. However, he is an accomplished athlete. He's got a football background. He's got an extensive rugby background. I'm sure that's going to help him.
I talked to Zane Jay a little bit earlier on tonight as we see the lockup. And I asked him what it meant, not just to be having this matchup, not just to be having it under the banner of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but to be having it against the DKC. And he told me, man, he made it fun. He's been there. That's my guy. He's the reason I am the way I am. He showed me the New Japan way, but right now, perhaps Zane Jay showing DKC the New Japan way.
Yeah, let's see how fun he's going to make it from here in this showcase.
Goes
match.
down, hook of the leg, barely a 1.
We saw some great technical wrestling and great chain wrestling to open this thing up.
And the both of us, Mark, we're talking to the DKC a little bit earlier on tonight. You heard it in the ring introductions from Adnan Qureshi. He's embraced his eternal side.
Yes, he's trying to lean as much as he can into the idea of fighting spirit and what that means to him.
What it means for Zane Jay is a leg lock here. Very wisely, Jay reaching for those ropes, trying to break up the hold, and he finally gets it.
Uses that reach, that length. 6'1" is Zane Jay to get himself to the ropes. DKC not giving up on the leg though.
Oh man, chirping chop to the chest there from Zane Jay, and DKC not going to stand for it. Rear naked choke here. Zane Jay quickly and wisely evading.
Love to see all this technical wrestling. Love to see all this mat wrestling. Because you know, in this dojo, they are training fundamentals. It's so important to the New Japan Pro Wrestling training process. During this camp, wrestlers do intense grueling workouts, squats, conditioning, tape study, ring cardio.
And it's worth pointing out, if you are watching at home, if you are listening along at home, there are spots opening up right now for the next round of the NJPW Academy. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned to our social media.
Head scissors in tight and keeps it in. Keita right there to check the shoulders, because it is possible the shoulders could hit the mat there and be a pinfall opportunity, but also for the submission.
Something like the DKC, a little too experienced for that. Did graduate the LA Dojo himself earlier on this year, but has grown leaps and bounds since.
He's been doing great things in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's had recent matches with Naito, with Okada, with Shingo.
Hold on, shoulders down again. Of course, Zane Jay looking so impressive. Shoulder block there, taking down the DKC. 6 months in, his first ever professional matchup, and he has been training for half a year. Wrestling better than some people have been doing it for a decade, but taken down with a head scissors from the DKC.
Duck under, off the ropes. How about a head scissors going the other way? Zane Jay thrown into the blue corner.
Anything you can do, I can do better here. DKC, all sorts of fired up.
Nice back elbow. Wrist lock, and where's he going with them? Beautiful.
Nice bridge there, shoulders down, but still only a 2.
And Zane Jay dumps to the outside. Gonna think this one over a little bit. Maybe just take a breather, collect himself.
Well, we mentioned he is an athlete of many sports. He is an athlete by trade, but unlike many other sports, there are no timeouts in the world of professional wrestling, Mark.
I think he's a rookie, clearly, but I think it's a wise move to go out and just take a second if you can, but DKC is going out after him.
He's evading that athleticism, if only for the moment, and now DKC, springboard, but gets caught in mid-air. Look at the strength of Zane Jay.
Use your size, use your power, use what you've got to your advantage. Go for the cover, Zane Jay.
Fall away slam, cover, but again, barely a 1 count there. Zane Jay is over 200 pounds. He just hit the DKC with one of the most devastating fall away slams I've ever seen, and still DKC getting his shoulder up before the count of 2.
You only get one first time. You only get one first match for the rest of his career. Zane Jay will remember, did I win or did I lose in my first match in the ring?
Never forget your first, and something tells me DKC won't forget Zane Jay's first either, returning in kind with chops of his own. I'm noticing some similarities to Fred Rosser versus Shaheen, our last matchup, our last coach versus student matchup here. It started very respectful, it started very amicable, but the deeper and deeper we get into this thing, Mark, the harder and harder these guys are hit. DKC specifically, no remorse for his student.
We've talked about how much the students want to beat their coaches, want to get that victory. But also, these coaches don't want to lose a match to one of their students. Right? Even though you might have a little bit of pride that they were able to pull it off, you still want to have the win. You were the coach.
Well, Mark, take nothing away from Zane Jay, but how incredible offense there. He's a prodigy in every sense of the word. You got to think it would be embarrassing for the DKC to be beaten by a rookie.
Oh, man, here comes Zane Jay with all that power, all that size, all that speed with the clothesline in the corner. Here we go. Snaps the neck.
And Zane Jay has got to be careful. He's not distracted by the crowd. Nice senton there. Couldn't put him away.
He's wrestling very wisely, is Zane Jay. Almost every offensive maneuver has been a maneuver where he uses his size to his advantage. It's very smart wrestling.
Well, and here's the thing. We know that the DKC has taught Zane Jay everything that Zane Jay knows, but has the DKC taught Zane Jay everything that the DKC knows? It remains to be seen as the arms are butterflied here. But DKC doing everything he can.
Yeah, he knows he's got to get up to a vertical base. He can't let Zane Jay keep him.
And indeed he does, escaping that underhook.
I don't know how much success you're going to have firing away at those abs.
Nice back fist there. I think you'll have a great deal of success on the face. My goodness, the educated feet of the DKC being put to good use here, Mark.
Zay Jay wobbling, tries to throw a clothesline, but DKC too fast for him.
Like a cannon shot through the air is the DKC. And he's looking to put this one away.
Oh! Welcome to professional wrestling, Zane Jay.
Mark, I don't care how toned your abs are. That hurts like hell.
Here we go.
Hooks the leg. And a kick out once again from Zane Jay. Talk about resilience.
I wouldn't have been surprised if that was the end of the match, but credit to Zane Jay for the kick out there. But now the question is, this deep into the match, against somebody as experienced as DKC, can Zane Jay make anything happen here?
Zane Jay telling me beforehand that his goal has always been to wrestle one match, and anything that might come after is a blessing. Blessing is the key word. This is a blessing. I'm not sure he's feeling very blessed right now.
German!
Blessing DKC with a deadlift suplex. My goodness. You said, can he find a way back in this thing? You asked, could he find a way back in this thing? I think he found a way back in this thing.
Up high.
Sit out, power bomb, deep cover. Still not enough.
He almost had a victory in his first match ever in this industry. He was so close.
Does it get much better than beating your trainer on one of the biggest stages in the sport of professional wrestling? I'm talking about NJPW.
Up very high with a big body slam.
It's fundamental, it's basic, but it gets the job done, and nothing basic or fundamental about this, but nobody home.
Can you believe the agility, though? Out of Zane, it didn't land, but my God.
He was trained by the DKC, but DKC able to evade using his body as a weapon.
The DKC is outside, and he's going up high.
And that's got to be all she wrote.
Fantastic effort by Zane Jay.
Time, 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Here is your winner, the DKC!
For the rest of his career, Zane Jay's record will always say, in his opening match, he was not victorious, but he has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of with his performance in this match against his coach, the DKC.
No shame. With a performance like that, no shame against an opponent the caliber of his coach. The DKC on to brighter and better things here. But something tells me that Zane Jay will be having a little bit more than that one match in his future.
Well, it's so exciting to see all of these new faces, these fresh faces. And we never know with any of these wrestlers, could this be the first and only time we see them? Or could we see them main eventing Wrestle Kingdom in a few years? Or anything in between. That's part of the fun of the Academy Showcase. That's part of the fun of a moment like this, of a card like this.
Match
We're
4,
peering into the
singles
future.
contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
And interestingly enough, Mark, up next, neither one of these men are graduates of the NJPW Academy. Neither one of these men are coaches or trainers here at the LA Dojo. But both of these men capturing the eyes of New Japan management. New Japan management feeling like they are, as you said, the future of this sport.
If you were with us for the very first Academy Showcase, this is the second Academy Showcase. If you were with us for the first Academy Showcase, you saw this man in an 8-man tag that was an absolute insane turf war. He's in a singles match here tonight.
Was not successful in that 8-man tag, but it is worth pointing out the global nomad Jordan Oasis was not pinned. And he's trying to do the pinning here tonight.
Blue corner, 6 foot 2 inches, 237 pounds, the global nomad, Jordan Oasis!
Global Nomad, you see that backpack he brings to ringside. He's wearing hiking boots. He's wearing those patched pants. This is a world traveler. It's not uncommon to find Jordan Oasis like a real-life Sasquatch, patrolling, stalking his way, if you will, through various bodies of nature, various forests. This is a world-traveled individual.
His opponent is a familiar face to us here on the West Coast wrestling scene and to all of us here in New Japan.
Holds tag team victories alongside Yuya Uemura and Fred Yehai. Was last seen on New Japan Strong against All Hurt Blake Christian. And I think it's worth pointing out, Mark, that Keita, the only man who doesn't really have any direct correlation to the LA Dojo. He was not featured on the inaugural Academy Showcase like Jordan Oasis. As I mentioned, he's not a coach, he's not a graduate, but still NJPW management taking notes.
Well, it speaks to his talent and ability. It speaks to what they've seen in him. We've seen him in NJPW Strong and New Japan.
Red corner, 5 foot 9 inches, 177 pounds, ruler of realms, Keita!
I feel like it's an apt comparison. Both of these men, in my opinion, as someone who's called their matches numerous times across the West Coast, they're hitting gems. They're men who are in the prime of their career, who have been so good for so very long and just need that one opportunity to, forgive the wordplay, showcase what they're capable of. And I think they're both hoping that tonight is exactly that.
I feel like the stakes are high for each of these men personally in this match. They've been around each other on this West Coast wrestling scene a lot. Both of them want a victory. They've been trash talking a little bit on social media coming into this match about who, as the bell rings, about who is going to humble who. We'll find out if either one of these men get humbled as this one kicks off.
Keita's all about trash talk. He's all about those mind games, as you can see, mocking Jordan Oasis. Oasis, he opts to show, not tell. He opts to let his actions speak louder than his words.
And those sort of taunts that you see from Keita, sure, they're fun, they're a little bit amusing, but it's about psychologically getting in your opponent's head. That's really why you see him doing that stuff. He's trying to mess with a guy who takes himself very seriously, like Jordan Oasis does.
Jordan Oasis with a psyche like granite. I talk about those experiences traveling across the world, traversing uncharted territory. That has made Jordan Oasis an individual who is not easy to be tampered with, but Keita will do everything in his power to test that. As Oasis muscles him up, but Keita lands on his feet.
Oh! You could hear that one outside of the dojo. Jordan Oasis didn't like it one bit.
Keita ducking the offense from Oasis, but unable to duck that shoulder block or that clothesline.
Nasty clothesline.
And again,
huge body slam.
This time it lands into the cover and a kick out from Keita.
Keita gonna roll outside and think it over a little bit.
And I gotta ask about who do you give the edge to in this contest? Keita perhaps a little more familiar to New Japan Strong audiences, but Oasis looking very, very impressive thus far, has the size advantage, and very, very impressive, as we mentioned, the inaugural Academy Showcase.
Keita's had more experience in New Japan rings. For that reason alone, I'd give him the slight edge.
He seems to be edging his way towards Jordan Oasis here, trying to cut down the tree trunk-like legs of the big man.
I thought he went outside to think it over. He went outside to lure Jordan Oasis over.
Perhaps killing two birds with one stone here is Keita, regrouping and taking down Oasis. This is exactly what you want to do against a big man. That powerful offense is null and void. That vertical base is taken down. Keita knows this.
Jordan Oasis got so much pride fighting his way out of that corner. And he knows he doesn't want to let Keita get on a roll here. You got to stop him. You got to cut him off. You've got to make sure he's not getting too much momentum in the early going of this match.
And that's exactly what Jordan Oasis is doing, holding it onto that top rope. But Keita fighting for dear life here. Oasis! Both of these men with a similar idea. Oasis maybe going for a dragon screw, but instead opts for a backbreaker. My goodness. You know, we're going to see Jake Painter in action a little bit later on tonight, I should say, the backbreaking artist.
Yeah, master of backbreakers.
Cover here.
Also later tonight, of course, our main event, Rocky Romero One of the busiest men in pro wrestling today, taking on Matt Vandagriff, a graduate, an alumni of this academy. And of course, plus we've got a great four-way match later tonight, something you don't often see in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jordan.
No, and of course, the main event of the last Academy Showcase. Chirp and chop there from Oasis in Johnnie, Robbie, and Trish Adora teaming up tonight against the two female graduates of this Academy Showcase, J-Rod and Viva Van. All of that and so much more, but right now, Oasis just dismantling Keita systematically, hooks the legs, but only at 2.
I feel like I can see, just in the little extra oomph in the offense so far in this match, that this one is very personal for both of these men. Like I said, they were talking a lot of trash on social. They've been around the same scene for a long time. There's pride on the line here. There's pride.
Well, as you mentioned, the trash talk, the mind games. Whoa, we're seeing some mind games there with a slap to the face. They can benefit someone like Keita if they make Oasis see red, if they make him sloppy. But at the same time, they can come back to bite you in a bad way because you fire him up, you piss him off, and you make him that much more dangerous, as you're seeing here.
Jordan Oasis stomping a mud hole, as some might say, and Keita is in a bad way.
But you see, Oasis still feeling the residual effect of that slap to the face. Keita, he might not look it stacked up against a giant like Jordan Oasis, but he is no small fry. He's in excellent shape.
If Jordan Oasis wins this match, believe it or not, it'll be an early birthday present for him. His birthday's in just 2 days. He'll be 26 years old.
26 years old and already this good, already at this stage. But Keita looking to play birthday spoiler here. Man, shot right to the mush.
It's back elbow. Keita going up to the second, bringing Jordan Oasis in with him, and I suspect he's calling for a DD. No, doesn't matter.
He's got those, shall we say, bottomless chaps here. Was looking for a yeehaw around the world, but Oasis muscling him up. Keita lands on his feet. And he's got the big man staggered. Rolling him up. Only a 2.
Oh! Tremendous thrust kick.
And again, going for the cover.
You might as well try for it, but not enough.
Well, it's a classic adage in professional wrestling, right? You might not finish your opponent. You might be aware that a cover at that juncture is not going to win you the matchup. But you still make them exert energy every time they have to kick out.
Especially a big man like Jordan Oasis, right? And now Keita working the leg, against a man who's got a size advantage on you like Oasis does on Keita. I think trying to take out a limb, trying to take out some of the lower body is a good sound strategy.
It's the smartest possible strategy. As I mentioned, he's not going to be able to muscle you up for body slams or power slams or gorilla press slams. He can't stand on his own 2 feet.
That's right. You don't want Oasis to be able to get up to a vertical base, use the power, use the size advantage. Oh, I'm telling you, as you heard, it's the trash talking is moved from social right into the ring.
Keita, the ruler of realms, and right now ruling the global nomad, Jordan Oasis. Repeated thrust kicks here.
Oasis is wobbling, and he's going to try to get the big man up.
I'm not sure. I know he's worn him down, but I'm not sure that is sound strategy against Oasis.
It's a tough ask, and Jordan Oasis answers.
He gets him up, but as quick as he does, Oasis takes him down. Global nomad Jordan Oasis sending Keita into the blue corner. Keita up and over. He's looking for his positioning here. No. Finally takes it around the world.
What a suplex.
Tilt-a-whirl variation. Will it be enough? No,
not yet. We're so excited to have fans here in the dojo with us today. I was mentioning this is such a sacred space in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's very rare that the doors are open. And the rules here, Jordan, are typically very, very strict. Shoes are typically not allowed to be worn in this dojo. Gum is not allowed to be chewed. No outside beverages or food are allowed to be brought in. No pictures are typically allowed to be taken inside this building. It's very rare that New Japan opens up this space to the public.
It's a special exception for a special platform. Look at this. There's a bar fight between these two, trading chops, and neither man giving an inch.
Now this is some fighting spirit. We said we wanted to see fighting spirit tonight. Look at this fighting spirit from Keita and Oasis.
It is indeed unleashed, and finally Keita crumples. Oasis with a huge power bomb. Count to 100, Justin. No!
If he's gonna win, that's how he's gotta win. It's gonna be big power moves like that to give Oasis the victory.
Yeah, but Mark, how much harder are those big power moves to hit when the legs have been neutralized, as you've seen from Keita? And now, the Heat Seeker Cannonball. Keita has gotta be done. He's gotta be, but he's not.
We're still going. And a round of applause for this crowd is well earned as Keita kicks out.
Mark, how on earth is a man the size of Jordan Oasis able to hit offense like that? Nearly hitting the lights, nearly hitting the piping on the ceiling of the LA Dojo here.
Jordan Oasis, if he can be this size and move like this, he's got a bright present and a very bright future.
He was going for that Haddonfield hook lariat, but Keita had an answer. He saw it coming. Jawbreaker there from Keita.
He's still in this thing. Attacking the head. Get Oasis dizzy, get him wobbly, get his vision blurry.
And again, going back to old reliable, taking down those legs. Oh, with the legs strung up in the middle rope.
Drop kick to the knee. If I were Keita, I may do nothing but go after Jordan Oasis' leg for the rest of this match. You've got to keep him horizontal.
Keita has him measured here, maybe looking for a lariat of his own. Again, as maybe he heard you. You are omnipotent, Mark, taking down those legs.
Just chop blocked him, right?
But Oasis doing what he can to escape shots to the head.
Well, this may be desperate offense, but it's important offense. He cannot allow Keita to keep working the legs if he wants to win. If you're Jordan Oasis, you've got to get up off the mat.
And Keita, shades of our opening contest, transitions into that Boston Crab.
These are not young lions, but the Boston Crab is effective no matter where you are in your career.
Oasis, he's so close and yet so far to that bottom rope.
Gotta reach!
And he makes it! I mean, you gotta think, Mark, that was his only chance at reprieve here. There is no way Oasis was muscling his way out of that Boston Crab, not after everything Keita has done to those legs.
These guys are in tremendous condition, but you can feel that Keita is wearing down just from having to take on this giant in Jordan Oasis.
And that giant just leveled Keita with an elbow straight to the face. I'm not sure if it was snot, spit, or teeth, but Oasis with a Uranage. You see Oasis, he's very ginger on that leg here. Doesn't want to, very careful not put too much weight on it. Was going for the Haddonfield hook once again, but still Keita evades.
I thought he was going to go for the cover after the Uranage. Went for some more offense, but Keita was able to take advantage.
619.
He's calling for a 619.
Oh, but a kick from Keita again to those damaged legs. And a double foot stomp.
This is such an exciting match. It's such an exciting time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Everything going on stateside with New Japan Strong. Everything going on in Japan that you can follow on NJPW. World fans, we're so glad you're with us for this very special Academy Showcase, as this time we might be going back to the Boston Crab.
I don't think Jordan Oasis is glad to be where he is right about now. Keita doing everything he can to muscle over. Almost a lion tamer of sorts there, digging that knee into the lower back.
Yeah, he's got his right knee in the low, and Jordan Oasis tap.
No choice.
Jordan Oasis forced to tap.
11 minutes and 57 seconds. Here is your winner, Keita.
Fantastic match, back and forth. It really felt like it could have gone either way.
Absolutely, Mark. You know, the lion is the emblem of New Japan Pro Wrestling. How apropos that Keita used that lion tamer to eke, and I mean eke out a victory against Jordan Oasis. Once again, I might sound like a broken record, but it's the truth, fans. This one really could have gone either way.
Years ago, I was in this very room, in this dojo, talking to Katsuyori Shibata when he was the head trainer here. I asked him what he wanted to see out of the trainees, out of the student wrestlers. I thought he was going to say athletic ability. I thought he was going to say talent. I thought he might say size. He He said, I'm only looking for one thing, spirit. They've got to have spirit. Everybody on this showcase so far today have shown us that fighting spirit you need to succeed in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And talk about fighting spirit, we've alluded to it a few times, but New Japan Strong returns to pay-per-view on Fight Plus. That'll be October 28th in Las Vegas, Nevada, when we present Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Already confirmed, Eddie Kingston defending the Strong Openweight Championship against Henare, and Julia defending the Women's Championship against Haya.
Fifth match, singles contest. One fall with a 15-minute time limit.
And I gotta tell you, Mark, there's a lot to look forward to tonight. We've seen some pretty incredible stuff thus far, but out of everything announced, this might be the match I'm looking forward to the most.
Yes, we've been very excited for this one. It's another student, graduate versus coach scenario.
Red corner, 5 foot 8 inches, 180 pounds, deadliest catch wrestler, Seabass Finn!
The goddamn man, Bateman, issued an open challenge to any Academy graduate to face him here tonight at the showcase. And Seabass Finn, he answered the call. You know, I've had a front row seat for much of Seabass's journey. I've had that privilege, and I'm sure we'll allude to that as this match gets underway, but man, I'm not sure I understand this one, Mark.
I don't know, when Bateman offers up an open challenge and you accept that challenge, you may have more guts than brains.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Bateman, one of the best in the world for my money. It's a huge opportunity. Once again, apologies for the wordplay. It's a huge showcase, but at the same time, you are guaranteeing a great deal of pain, unimaginable pain against this man.
He will have no mercy. He will be ruthless. He will function, if he can, as an ultimate gatekeeper. Will Bateman against Seabass Finn.
Has got the cold, lifeless eyes, the devil's eyes.
Blue corner, Stray Dog Army, 6 foot 3 inches, 216 pounds, Bateman!
We know Bateman well here in New Japan Pro Wrestling, in New Japan Strong, in ROH, in the Southern California and West Coast wrestling scene. Seabass Finn is about to meet Bateman in a way that he hasn't quite met him before.
You know, interestingly enough, Mark, this might sound like a strange sentiment, but the journeys of Seabass Finn and Bateman actually sort of run parallel. Well over a decade ago, Bateman packing up his life in Oklahoma in a car to move to SoCal in the pursuit of becoming the best possible professional wrestler. 3 months ago, Seabass Finn did the exact same, a native of New England, born and raised in New Hampshire, traveling from the East Coast to the West with one goal in mind: graduating the Academy Showcase with flying colors.
And Jordan, you are from that same area. You know that scene, that New England wrestling scene. You've seen Seabass Finn there.
I am. I mentioned a front row seat. I was actually there the night that Seabass Finn and his often tag team partner, his roommate, his compatriot in this journey, Sean Vegan Keegan, who we're going to see in action a little bit later on tonight, announced to the world that they were going to be training at the NJPW Academy, at the LA Dojo. So full circle and so exciting on a personal level to see Seabass Finn in the ring against a great like Bateman, but also a little frightening because I'm not sure if he'll ever be the same afterwards.
We're seeing more of a technical wrestling display than I expected we would in the opening moments of this match, but good for Seabass Finn, who is taking it to Bateman so far.
You know, Mark, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, when we were going through our notes beforehand cover here, as I mentioned, a little bit more familiar with Seabass Finn, and he asked me, Seabass Finn, is he a fun wrestler? Oh, cover here, shoulders down, Seabass Finn looking to steal it. Is he someone who embraces the frivolity of professional wrestling? How's that going to work against a guy like Bateman? And I said, oh my goodness. I would have said yes 3 months ago. I would have said yes when I stood in that ring and held a microphone as he announced to the world he was making this journey. He was betting on himself, but now, not so sure that's the case. I have seen a transformation in Seabass, from professional wrestling's finest freshwater fisherman to the deadliest catch wrestler.
He actually said himself, I don't feel like the same wrestler I was back in July. I feel sharp, smooth, and deadly. He has recognized this transformation that he's had throughout the dojo, and this is not the wrestler that you knew, perhaps, in the New England wrestling
it is night and day. Seabass Finn always had potential, but now that potential is realized. It seems like Bateman realizing he's not in for an easy night at the office here, muscling Seabass down to the canvas.
He's hooked him, let's say. He's hooked him.
I see what you did there.
Two big questions. Question number one, who's going to win this match? Question number two, how many fishing puns can we say on commentary?
Mark, you know no bounds, my friend. You know, the advantage has to go to Bateman, of course, the leader of the Stray Dog Army, a fixture in New Japan Strong, as we mentioned, a former Ring of Honor six-man champion. But tonight, Bateman, he's alone. There's no Mysterioso. There's no Barrett Brown. Do you think that'll impede him at all against Seabass Finn?
I don't know. I think he's stronger with his allies around him, but I think Bateman has the soul and the heart of a loner too. I really do. And I think he's going to be motivated by his primary goal to crush Seabass Finn, to kill his baby in the crib before his New Japan career ever really gets going.
Yeah, something tells me that fried fish is on the menu for Bateman here tonight. Victories in New Japan Strong over the likes of Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, Kevin Knight, the DKC, all products of the LA Dojo. Additionally, Adrian Quest, Wheeler Yuta, Brody King, Carl Fredericks, a who's who of some of the best in North America.
Seabass Finn was smartly working the arm in the opening minutes of this match. Bateman now able to get some offense going, and we're seeing, look at this.
Just taking the knee into the face.
Grabs the face, kicked him on the ropes a moment ago. We're seeing this sort of nasty tactics and techniques that Bateman is known for.
Nasty's an excellent word, Mark. You know, I don't need to tell fans at home how sensitive an area of the body the face is, as Bateman just, he hooks the nose of Seabass here. And the ears, my God, Bateman's brutality knows no bounds. But I also want to point out, as he dug that knee into the face of Seabass, if you're at home, lightly massage that knee. Feel that knee. That is one of the hardest bones in the body. Now imagine it getting drilled into your face. Seabass, after that, after the ear and the nose were wrenched yet, has to be in an unimaginable level of pain. But still, with submission offense here on Bateman.
The fisherman knows how to tie some knots. He's got Bateman wrapped up. Look at Bateman. Bateman sticking his finger, almost a mandible claw. Just stuck his fingers in the mouth.
Yeah, it is Halloween season. Oh, you're talking about fingers in the mouth.
We've got a couple of fishes on the hook.
Stereo fish hooks here between Bateman and Seabass Finn. I mentioned this is Halloween season. This, like something out of a horror movie there. And the forearm levels Finn.
You know, it's always going to work for you. That old reliable forearm to the side of the face.
Bateman is all about smash over flash.
That's
he doesn't
right.
care if the offense looks pretty as long as it
5 minutes
hurts.
have elapsed.
And as Seabass Finn, it absolutely does.
That hurts. That hurts. Seabass Finn gasping for air in the corner right in front of us here.
Yeah, he wears the fishing vest, as you can see. Something tells me that's doing very little to help reprieve the chops of Bateman, but able to duck out of dodge and chops of his own here. Is Bateman removing his shirt?
Respect to Finn, but he just didn't have enough behind that chop. And
Mark, these men are removing their tops. They want nothing in between these devastating chops.
you can feel that through your screens at home.
Not sure if they're brave, crazy, or something in between. Talk about fighting spirit on full display here.
One-on-one, man-to-man. Who can take it? Finn had a little more power behind that one, and you could see Bateman's reaction. Right in the gills.
And Finn just crumples here, man. Wrenching at the hair.
Just to mock him. You know, guys like Bateman, they've been around this business a long time. When they see new faces coming in, they want to gatekeep. They want to make sure that these new faces have to pay a lot of dues. Bateman would be be happy if he never saw Seabass Finn or any of these other new wrestlers ever again.
But in many ways, look at the inverse of that. And again, fighting, I believe, is Bateman. Sicko. You look at the inverse from Bateman. He's also trying to prove Seabass Finn's mettle. He's trying to give him the opportunity to prove he belongs here. But this may be all she wrote, Mark.
Look out behind you, Seabass!
You see Bateman almost feeding off of the violence. It's not just a professional for him as he bites the nose of Finn. But Finn reversing with a stunner.
It was out of desperation, though. The question's going to be, can he follow up on it in any meaningful way, as he's got Bateman locked for just a moment.
Huge uppercut there from Finn.
Come on, Seabass.
Seabass is tired of his eyes, ears, his nose, his mouth getting toyed with. He's taking the fight to Bateman here. He's making him pay for that abuse you mentioned, Mark.
He's using his flippers. Maybe going to use his tail. What's he got in mind? He came across country for this opportunity.
He told Bateman to kiss his bass, but he maybe took a second too long. Jaw-jacking, playing to the faithful, and now he's going to pay for it. Whoa.
Bateman said, okay, like you asked for it, kid. Now I'm going to give it to you.
Seabass Finn has not gone down. He is back up to his feet.
When you give up your whole life, when you drive across country, when you're 3,000 miles from home, like Seabass Finn is, you don't want to give up easy.
The tenacity, the never say die attitude of Seabass Finn on full display.
The tornado forearm just took him down.
Yeah, there's a disconnect, right, Mark? At a certain point, you can fight and fight and fight. That heart and that soul can give you so much, but at a certain point, it just gives out. Your body says, I don't have any more left to give.
When you throw that fish up into the boat, it's flipping and flopping around as the oxygen goes into its lungs, but eventually it winds down.
The peace of mind standing headbutt there from Seabass Finn, and he may have found a way back into this thing.
Bateman's got to be careful not to get caught, because if he toys around with Seabass too much, this could happen!
And now Bateman will kiss his bass.
Cover!
Could it be it? Only a 2. Referee Chad Rico, the best seat in the house, closer to the action than absolutely anybody, but that was close. After everything Bateman has hit on Seabass Finn, it speaks to Finn's character. It speaks to his grit as a professional wrestler, and he was able to get a near fall like that.
Coming up immediately after this fans four-way match, something you almost never see in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Plus, we've got a women's featured tag match coming up, our main event. Rocky Romero is here against Matt Vandagriff.
10 minutes.
Seabass Finn once again taking Bateman off his feet. Thus far, the coaches have picked up every single victory in these coach versus graduate matchups. But I think Seabass Finn might be able to clinch this out. He's got him up. He's not going to German suplex Bateman.
He had him up in a deadlift waistlock for a second. Snap mare. And Bateman's got him on the line. Ready to clean him, grill him, fillet him, and eat him for dinner.
But Seabass Finn ducks. Huge lariat!
Go, kid, go! Stay in this thing.
Seabass Finn's gonna do it. Fight his freshwater fisherman no more. This is the deadliest wrestler! German suplex, he's got him! He's got him! No!
The minnow suplexed the shark and almost won this thing. Go, Seabass, go!
I am at a loss for words, Mark. It is a rarity here at the commentary desk, but I cannot believe everything Seabass Finn has survived to not just stay in this thing, but nearly win, nearly beat Bateman.
This isn't just a match for Seabass. It's so many of these wrestlers. This is the dream. It's the culmination of months, of years.
Seabass Finn was looking for that BFB, that best fisherman's buster. But Bateman with a brain buster of his own, the hard goodbye. But not a goodbye to Seabass Finn's hopes of victory.
He flipped and flopped and kicked out.
Off comes the elbow pad. That can only mean one thing.
And that is all. There's going to be a new trophy mounted on the wall.
Time, 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Here is
Of a
your
Seabass.
winner,
And in this case, it's Seabass Finn.
Seabass Finn gave it absolutely everything he had. For a moment there, I thought he had a fighting shot.
I mean, he's wrestling a 20-year veteran.
Yeah, no, I made the comparison earlier on tonight, but Bateman is like a horror movie villain, like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers before him. This giant monster always survives, always finds his way back.
I think it's a tough ask and a tall order to expect someone who's just at the beginning of their career, like Seabass Finn, to be able to pull out a victory in this setting against somebody as experienced and as devious as Bateman.
Sixth match, 4-way contest. One fall with a 20-minute time limit.
We've been
All
looking
4
forward to this
wrestlers
one.
will enter the ring at the same time. The first wrestler to score a pinfall or submission will be the winner.
As you mentioned, Mark, these 4-way matchups are rarity here in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Very rare, and as we just heard, it's not an elimination match. It's going to be first fall to the finish.
And this is one of the most amazing stories in all of the NJPW Academy. SoCal Crazy, a veteran of over 2 decades, battled stage 4 colon cancer for 2 years. Thought his life might be over, let alone his wrestling career, but stands tall today.
5 feet, 6 inches, 175 pounds. El Kaifon SoCal Crazy!
Stands tall today in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring.
We know him well here in Southern California, and thank God he's here with us. So glad to see SoCal Crazy healthy, well, and ready to kick some butt in this 4-way match.
You talk about fighting spirit doesn't get much better than that.
He went through a tremendous amount personally. He was out of wrestling for almost 2 years.
And his training here at the Academy in order to get rid of that ring rust, in order to get him back in fighting shape. But talk about fighting shape. I mentioned him in our last contest, the roommate and travel partner of Seabass Finn. It's Sean Vegan Keegan, and that vegan diet paying off. Look at the shape.
That's got to be some interesting road trips.
205 pounds. Plant-based powerhouse, Sean Vegan Keegan!
Sean Vegan Keegan could eventually convert Seabass Finn to vegetarianism.
I'm not sure if I know of a vegan seafood place, but stranger things have happened.
Maybe pescatarian. Maybe we could get him to be a pescatarian.
All jokes aside, Vegan Keegan eating over 200 grams of plant-based protein every day, wanting to prove the merits of vegan strong style.
Yeah, he really is on a mission. He wants to show that you can be a vegan and be in fantastic shape and be in wrestling shape. When we saw some backbreakers earlier tonight, we were talking about this man right here, Jake Painter, and how he was coming out a little later. Here he is now, the back-breaking artist.
The obvious allusion is to the messiah of the backbreaker. And Jake Painter telling me a little bit earlier on tonight that Roderick Strong is the artist's inspiration, models himself after Strong in so many ways.
5 feet, 10 inches, 205 pounds, Jake Painter!
Other inspirations include the likes of Roddy Piper and Adam Copeland, but Jake Painter doesn't want to be the next Hot Rod or the next Rated R. He wants to be the first Jake Painter.
And if you're seeing Jake Painter for the first time, he's got some really innovative offensive, very creative ways that he finds his way into backbreakers. And look out. Here comes a man that we saw on the first Academy Showcase a few months ago. He was in the opening match against Fred Rosser. He had a heck of a showing, and my friends, he is back.
The first matchup of the first showcase. We saw Fred Rosser in action a little bit earlier on tonight against Shaheen. You know, Mr. No Days Off is no joke. Buck Skinner. And Mark, you can speak to it better than I. He took him to his limit.
6 feet, 8 inches, 257 pounds. The Lone Stranger, Buck Skinner!
I think pray God none does that on purpose. I think he's out to get you.
We've mentioned a couple times tonight how we spoke to some of the wrestlers before the show. Buck Skynyr was not one of those wrestlers. He calls himself the Lone Stranger. He lives up to that motto, not very approachable or friendly.
No, I kind of tried to weasel my way in there, and he just gave me a look that said, do not come near me or I will hurt you. Hold on. Well, there he is, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, fresh off a victory against Shaheen. He's joining us at the commentary booth here, Mark.
Okay, head coach is out here.
Just watching, baby. It's time to go to work. Let's go, referee. Time to go to work.
All right, Fred Rosser saying he's coming out to watch. He wants to see this one with his own eyes, and it's time to go to work. Fred Rosser, welcome to the commentary booth.
Thank you for having me, guys. Mr. No Days Off is in the house. Let's do it.
Fred, I got to tell you, we're very happy to have you, but to what do we owe the pleasure?
I come to scout my students, you know. This Fatal 4-Way is very special here in New Japan Strong, NJPW Academy, and I'm just scouting the talent.
We're so happy to have you here as Vegan, Keegan, Buck Skynyr, Jake Painter, and SoCal Crazy looking for an advantage in the early going.
We've been talking, Fred, about how unusual it is to see a 4-way match in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Very unusual, but we're doing it here. Carson, California is where it's at.
And Fred, we also alluded to your matchup against Buck Skynyr at the inaugural Academy Showcase. He, if you don't mind me saying, took you to your limit. If you're Vegan Keegan, if you're Jake Painter, if you're SoCal Crazy, what do you have to do to neutralize the power, the size of a Buck Skynyr?
It's real simple. You got to chop him down. You got to go for the legs.
And that's exactly what Sean Keegan is trying to do to no avail. Chops from Crazy to Painter in one corner, chops from Skynyr to Keegan in the other.
The action is going to be fast and furious throughout this one as almost anything goes in this 4-way match. It's one fall to a finish.
Yeah, you do not have to be pinned to lose this matchup as Keegan thinking suplex here. Perhaps unintentionally uses Crazy as a battering ram and suplexes him down.
All 4 men can and will be in the ring at the same time.
Fred, what can you tell us about Sean Vegan Keegan from what you've seen him over the course of NJPW Academy?
He's traveled all the way from the New England area. I'm very proud of him. Anyone that makes a sacrifice moving across the country to come here to live out a dream, my hat's off to him, you know. I've been in their shoes.
Nice fall-away slam. And Vegan Keegan alone in the ring with Buck Skynyr.
Similar hairstyles and trading forearms here are Skynyr and Vegan. Back and forth, big boot there from Skynyr.
Skinner's got that rough kind of loner style. Reminds me of a Dick Murdoch, a Terry Gordy.
Stan Hansen.
That's right.
On a chop there from SoCal Crazy, one for Keegan as well. It's interesting you bring up those names. Buck Skynyr saying that though inspired by those names, he wants to be the only Buck Skynyr. He wants to blaze his own trail and well on his way to do that. But SoCal Crazy cutting off those legs, as you mentioned, Fred.
Moving so fast. Fred, I think SoCal's got to stay a step ahead of everybody in this match.
Yeah, you know, SoCal, 21-plus year veteran, you know, he made the decision, cancer survivor, to join NJPW Academy, and he's been doing a great job.
Jake Painter back on the inside. We mentioned Jake Painter, the back-breaking artist. You got to watch for backbreakers. They can come at you from any direction in his offense.
Absolutely any position in the ring, absolutely any position outside the ring. Jake Painter's offense knows no bounds here as Crazy with a backslide, but Painter able to evade.
I gotta think that at least with this SoCal fan base that's here with us live, SoCal Crazy might be a sentimental favorite. There's one of those backbreakers right now.
The first of many. Fred, what can you tell us from your time training Jake Painter?
Jake Painter, he's the first one here, last one to leave, and that's what I like. That's what it takes. You can be decent in the ring, but the effort that you put in outside the ring means the most to Mr. No Days Off.
He's the student of the game, and No Days Off for Jake Painter, but gets caught in midair off that springboard from Buck Skynyr.
How powerful is Buck Skynyr? Unbelievable.
From Arkansas, that farm boy is nothing but power.
Is there anything that surprised you when you wrestled Buck Skynyr at the inaugural Academy Showcase? Obviously, you train him, you've known this man for a very long time, you got to know him very well, but standing toe-to-toe in the ring with him, did anything surprise you about Buck Skynyr?
Absolutely no wasted movement with Buck. He's intentional and he's deliberate. He's talking crap to me.
He's talking
you
trash
need to focus on the match.
And indeed, well, I thought it might have cost him there, but catching SoCal Crazy with a choke. Big boot for Keegan.
Up high in the sky in the choke slam.
SoCal Crazy is not the largest man, and he just fell a very, very long way. Same with Painter, legs hooked, but only a 2.
Like I said, no wasted movement with Buck Skinner.
Fred mentioned the farm background of Buck Skinner. Grew up on a farm in Arkansas, farming beans, corn, wheat. That's his background. That's his life.
He's a country boy in every sense of the word. But Sean Vegan Keegan having an answer here, taking Buck Skinner outside the ring, and that's what you got to do. You got to isolate it so it's you and one of your opponents. If someone's in there to break up a pin or submission, you are not winning this matchup. Nice leapfrog from Sean Vegan Keegan.
You got to think that having been in a previous Academy showcase,
Five minutes.
Skinner a little bit of an advantage. He's had a match in this showcase before. He's had a match in front of this audience before.
Hold on, Crazy's looking to fly.
Look at SoCal Crazy.
Incredible aerial offense from Crazy, a veteran of over 2 decades.
Incredible crowd tonight.
2.
Yeah, the crowd absolutely on
3.
fire here. As we mentioned before you joined us, Fred,
4.
such a rare honor for
5.
fans, for civilians, if you will, to be let
6.
into the LA Dojo. Speaks to the importance of NJPW
7.
Academy.
Very rare, and 2024 is around the corner. We're going to do a
9.
lot more here at the LA
10.
Dojo.
Got to make sure you follow our new Instagram
11.
page at NJPW Academy. Stay up to date on all the latest stylings of the NJPW Academy. Find out when you yourself, if you're a wrestler, or hopeful watching at home, can join to begin in the advanced class.
And you never know, certain opportunities can come out of the Dojo,
4.
the Academy. You have opportunities with ROH, WWE, AEW. I teach it all here.
7.
I want you to leave here prepared.
8.
You know, Fred, you've competed in several 4-way matches throughout your career. Do you have any advice for these competitors? You had eyes in the back of your head.
I'm a student of the game. It's very, very difficult for me. 21 years I've been in the game, very difficult. So many bodies, so many styles, very difficult.
Code red there from SoCal Crazy.
He got
He was so close, but Painter able to find his way out.
Fred, you and these other wrestlers have been training in this room, in this dojo, in this ring. But we're talking about the crowd. You're not used to having company over. I mean, that changes the dynamic for the wrestlers, right? There's a live audience here.
big time, big time. The audience is right on top of you. For me, whether I'm performing in front of 100 people or 10,000 people, for me, it's still so much fun for me. So I'm happy to be here with commentary. I'm happy to be here wrestling as well.
This is such an exciting time for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, we're here at the Academy Showcase, but we're only a few weeks away from Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Las Vegas.
Electric chair from Painter here. Backbreaker. Almost a one-winged angel backbreaker there. Hooks the leg, but before the cover can even begin, Buck Skinner pulling him off of Crazy.
Jake almost had it. That's the one thing about 4 ways, 3 ways, very difficult.
Multi-man matches, as I mentioned, you have to have eyes in the back of your proverbial head here as Buck Skinner just slapping the taste out of the mouth of Jake Painter.
And the match could end when you're not even in the ring in a match like this. It's so chaotic.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head, fellas.
And it seems like Sean Vegan Keegan taking the fight to both Painter and Skinner here. Vegan Keegan, perhaps the freshest man at this juncture, has had several minutes on the outside to recoup.
And he might credit that to his veganism as well.
Using that plant-based power, that is power with an AH. As Keegan maybe looking for that plant-based power slam, the pump handle.
You've heard of the man of 1,000 holds. He calls himself the man of 1,000 vegetables.
Just depositing Painter back first.
Nasty back body drop.
Nothing fancy, fellas. Nothing fancy here.
But before he can capitalize, Painter trying to roll out and cover now. But it's a little too late as SoCal Crazy in to break it up.
We were talking, Fred, about how in a showcase like this, it's not just about showcasing your ability. It's about getting the win. You want the win. You want the victory.
Especially with Fred Ross around here watching.
Not only do you want to get the win, but you want to impress New Japan officials because you never know what comes out of this opportunity.
SoCal Crazy here taking the fight to Sean Vegan. Keegan Crazy has been in the ring alongside Ultimo Guerrero, Super Crazy, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio Jr., a who's who of Lucha Greats. But right now it's Vegan Keegan looking for that plant-based power slam.
You never know who's watching, and there's so much coming up in New Japan, and New Japan strong. There's Vegas, there's Dallas, there's San Jose.
Senton, cover here. Only a 2.
All of those shows just within the next couple of months.
Well, that's the thing about the NJPW Academy, Mark. There are no guarantees. You come here, you do your time, but you got to prove that you really want it. Just showing up isn't enough. You really have to prove that you are worth those opportunities.
What about the bigger picture? All of these wrestlers, they're dreaming about Wrestle Kingdom. They're dreaming about G1. Eventually, would they see themselves? Could they be on those big stages in New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Listen, No Days Off is in the same boat. I have dreams and aspirations of going to Japan, and it's going to happen in 2024. Mark it down.
Strong words there from Fred Rosser. Fred, speak to that a little bit. Tell us about what the platform of New Japan Pro Wrestling means, because for all intents and purposes, you really revitalized and reinvigorated your career. After nearly a decade on national television, you reinvented yourself here in the King of Sports.
10 minutes have elapsed. 10 minutes.
In the style until I watched my first New Japan Strong show, and I said to myself, I can keep up with these guys. Fast forward 2 years later, and I'm doing my thing, still at it.
Right now, SoCal Crazy keeping up with the backbreakers of Jake Painter, but gets leveled with a boot from Buck Skynyr, and a boot from Keegan as well. Boots all around.
Watch out behind you, though! Backstabber, a diving backstabber off the ropes.
And Sean Vegan Keegan, the only man standing, the only man alive at this juncture. Thinking deadlift German.
Can he get the big man up, though? It's going to take a lot of power.
Buck Skinner's a little too big. We're a little too deep into this contest. And Skynyr taking Keegan outside the ring, but
watch
look
out,
here.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out behind you.
Talk about eyes in the back of your head, but Buck Skinner's still able to evade.
Skynyr uses the size to his advantage at every opportunity he gets.
Painter lands on his feet, but could we see it? Elevator flatliner!
Cover, cover, cover! And that is all! Wow! Buck Skynyr!
Time, 11 minutes and 8 seconds. Here is your winner, Buck Skynyr!
So if we talk about opportunities,
Yes,
I got to
sir.
make an announcement about an opportunity.
Okay! All right then. Where's Fred Rosser going?
Once again, your
Fred
winner of the
Rosser
match,
seemingly very impressed with
Skynyr.
Buck Skynyr, and you can hardly blame him. Impressive performance here tonight.
I thought he was just coming out here to watch his students in person, but it looks like he's got something else in mind. And hopefully we'll find out what it is.
Showing respect to Crazy and Painter here. He's asking for the mic.
I'm going to make this short and sweet. You've traveled all the way from Arkansas to be here for the last year. As far as I'm concerned, you've earned an opportunity. October 28th in Las Vegas.
I think I'm hearing?
Short and sweet, like I said, October 28th, you will compete with New Japan Strong. Congratulations.
Blockbuster announcement from Mr. No Days Off. October 28th in the City of Sin, New Japan Strong presents Fighting Spirit Unleashed, and Buck Skynyr will make his New Japan Strong debut.
Fred Rosser's out here handing out promotions, and Buck Skynyr just got one. A huge win in this four-way match, and a huge opportunity. The biggest opportunity of his career is coming up in Las Vegas on October 28th for Buck Skynyr.
You gotta be there on Fight Plus, fans.
What an announcement by Fred Rosser. You never know what the head coach might have in mind.
7th match, tag team contest. One fall with a 20-minute time limit.
We've been really looking forward to this featured tag team match that's coming up next.
It's the only tag team match on the card. And it's a bit of a generational clash, if you will, between the first generation of the NJPW Academy and the newest generation of the NJPW Academy in J-Rod and the Hellbent Vixen, Viva Van.
That's our first team coming to the ring. And perhaps in some ways an unlikely duo, but I think, Jordan, that their styles are going to complement each other very much as a team.
You see, even in terms of aesthetic, even in terms of ring attire, of how they dress, very dissimilar, but over the course of the last 3 months, J-Rod and Van have had one big thing in common, and that is their time here at the LA Dojo under Fred Ross.
Blue corner, 5 feet, 11 inches, the ultimate athlete, J-Rod!
J-Rod, the ultimate athlete, she's a powerhouse.
5 feet, 4 inches, hell-bent vixen, Viva Van!
Viva Van's had a lot of experience, including experience at Triple Mania.
And Van, the first woman to compete under the NJPW, the first Vietnamese woman to compete under the NJPW umbrella. So history being made here tonight by Van.
A few months ago, we had the first Academy Showcase. The main event were these two women that are making their way to the ring against each other.
Where she goes, trouble follows. And indeed, it led Johnnie Robbie all the way. What I think is fair to say is an upset victory against the Afro.
Red corner, 5 feet, 3 inches, La Traviesa, Johnnie Robbie!
I'm so impressed with Johnnie Robbie. Every time I've seen her wrestle, wherever I've seen her wrestle, she's better than she should be for the amount of experience she has in this business. I think she's a natural for it.
Yeah, celebrating only 2 years recently as an active professional wrestler. Wise and accomplished beyond her years, and a second victory back-to-back here at the New Japan Academy Showcases. Go a very, very long way continuing that hot streak. It's got back up in a big way.
Here comes your partner. That's Trish Adora.
No stranger to teamwork. Recently featured on Ring of Honor television as part of the infantry.
ROH, 5 feet, 8 inches, the Afro Punk, Trish Adora!
She's got, Trish Adora has legitimate combat background. She's a combat veteran. She served 8 years in the United States Army.
You know, Mark, we talk often about the discipline that is required, the willpower that is required to train here at the LA Dojo, to be a part of the New Japan roster, whether in Japan, whether domestically here, as part of New Japan Strong. Trish Adora has a leg up. She's predisposed to that kind of discipline as a veteran of the military.
Van and Adora going to start for their respective teams, and as we mentioned, Trish Adora and Johnnie Robbie are teaming up here. We're facing each other in the main event of our first showcase just a few months ago, and they had an incredible technical battle.
Yeah, you were on the call, so I'll ask you, do you think that serves them because they're so familiar with each other, because they gained a healthy level of respect for each other? Or conversely, cover here in the early going from Van, do you think it maybe deters them because there's still some bad blood left over? Another cover from Adora.
I think it's the first thing. The two women had so much respect for each other, and you could see it and you could feel it, and there was a handshake.
Another cover! These women trying to finish this one quick, Mark.
After that match, I'm not surprised to see them forming a tag team here. I think they really, really, really understood what the other one is all about and appreciated after that match.
Trish Adora, no stranger to the land of the rising sun herself, has toured Japan before, hoping to return with NJPW as she tags in Johnnie Robbie, who herself has become a bit of a world traveler. It was recently announced that she will be heading to CMLL, representing the United States in Grand Prix Amazonas.
And we've been talking about Fighting Spirit Unleashed on October 28th. She's on that card, Johnnie Robbie.
She absolutely is in a CMLL showcase, teaming with and teaming against some of CMLL's very best. That's October 28th in Las Vegas, Nevada on Fight Plus. But right now, Viva Van taking down Robbie and Adora and making the tag into the ultimate athlete.
We see J-Rod in the match for the first time. She's got an incredible athletic background. She played a ton of sports at the University of Alabama, volleyball, track and field, cheer.
Softball, gymnastics, bodybuilding, the list goes on and on. But I was talking to J-Rod and she was saying, I wanted to take every facet of my life. I wanted to take my athletic experience. I wanted to take what I learned in college. I wanted to take my natural charisma, my natural presence, and put it all into something. And professional wrestling, cover here. professional wrestling was that something. And in a very short time, she has thrived in a very big way.
Trish, Adora, and Johnnie Robbie are moving around in here like the Rock and Roll Express. They've had fantastic double team maneuvers. They're clearly on the same page. Here's a tag team.
Yeah, I doubted any potential chemistry because of maybe some leftover bad blood from the spring 2023 showcase, but Robbie cover. Her and Adora are unstoppable thus far.
Johnnie Robbie has some very innovative offense. She won the match against Trish Adora a few months ago here in the first showcase with a move she calls the Rule Breaker. It's a springboard, a second rope code breaker, so we got to watch out for that. J-Rod and Viva Bear got to watch out for that.
Got to watch out for that. Got to watch out for her package pile driver, the special delivery, and talking about Trish Adora, got to watch out for that debilitating lariat Tubman.
I've become such a huge fan, frankly, of Trish Adora. She's a tremendous professional wrestler. Originally from DC, grew up watching pro wrestling with her father and 5 brothers.
That'll teach you toughness. 5 brothers? My goodness.
But look at it. She's calm, she's relaxed, she's in control.
When we talked about the gymnastic background of J-Rod, look at the flexibility of Trish Adora here.
That's right. She's a very good technical wrestler.
Shoulders down, still not enough.
And a very good scientific wrestler.
Well, and it speaks to her pedigree as a technical wrestler, as a scientific wrestler, that she's able to have fun, but it might have cost her there. Almost an STO from J-Rod, and the Ultimate Athlete has to make a tag.
You gotta think, Jordan, that every one of the competitors in this match have on their mind the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Julia, the current champion, Willow Nightingale, and Mercedes Monet held that belt really just in the last year or so. Every one of these competitors would love to have a shot at Julia for that title.
As I mentioned, Julia defending against Tyan on October 28th in Las Vegas. But Viva Van, the hell-bent vixen, indeed in like a house of fire.
She had plenty of time to rest on the outside and coming in and tearing it up here.
You know, I had the opportunity a few weeks ago to sit in on one of Fred Rossler's classes here at the LA Dojo for the NJPW Academy. He asked several of the students to write on a whiteboard one word they hope to prove, one word they hope to show at the Academy Showcase. I saw words like strength. I saw words like grit. I saw words like ability. Viva Van wrote hellbent. Oh my goodness. Vendetta kick.
She says she's hellbent then, hellbent now, hellbent forever.
And I asked her what it means. I asked her what it means to be hellbent after the fact. And she said, being hellbent means achieving something at all costs.
5 minutes
the
of
fire we're seeing here, that's exactly what she's trying to do. Talk about combination offense. We saw it from Robbie and Adora. We're seeing it from J-Rod and Van.
Cover, cover.
Only a 2. And I think frequent tags is the name of the game for both Van and J-Rod. Keep each other fresh, keep their opponents on their toes.
J-Rod, as I mentioned, Roll Tide, originally from the University of Alabama, but grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Midwesterner out here, making it on the West Coast in the New Japan Dojo.
Individuals from all over the world, all over the continental United States and beyond. That is just what this opportunity means.
Well, that's what New Japan attracts, right? The New Japan brand, the reputation, the greatness of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It draws people from all over the world.
It's both the potential for greatness. You mentioned Korakuen, and you mentioned the Tokyo Dome. It's also the level of training you get here at the LA Dojo specifically, as J-Rod showing some of that training, putting it to good use against Johnnie Robbie. A little bit of snake eyes for the troublemaker.
Followed up with a big boot. Great offense.
Good
combination. Good combination.
But Adora breaking it up at the last possible second. Mark, I'm not sure if Johnnie Robbie would have been able to kick out of that.
Adora knew she had to come in and bust up that pin. And Adora dumped to the outside, and this could be very dangerous for Johnnie Robbie. J-Rod follows her in a quick tag. Somewhat of a blind tag. I don't know if Johnnie Robbie was aware of the tag.
Maybe thinking spine buster?
I'm thinking heart attack.
Indeed.
How about that?
And will Johnnie Robbie be done? Not if Trish Adora has anything to say about
A
it.
throwback to the Hart Foundation.
Listen, if you're trying to model yourselves after great tag teams, it doesn't get much better. Of course, spent some time in New Japan Pro Wrestling, did the Hart family.
Neither of these duos is a regular tag team. Both of these duos made a lot of effort to function as a great tag team here today.
Viva Van making Trish Adora eat defeat, but Johnnie Robbie from behind. And you can see all 4 of these women are wearing their battle wounds. All 4 of these women are feeling the effects of this one, Mark.
We've still got our main event coming up here tonight after this match. It's our main event, Rocky Romero versus Matt Vandagriff, and alumni versus the advisor.
And a stereo Huracan there. Oh! Stereo boots. It's like wrestling a mirror.
Both women down. Referee Chad Rico will begin a count shortly, I'm sure. And the crowd showing their appreciation.
You gotta think none of these women want this matchup to end in a double countout after everything they've given, not just in this matchup, but over the course of the last 3 months, over the course of their time at the NJPW Academy. In the case of Robbie and Adora this past spring, this platform means everything to them as Robbie and Van make tags. In come J-Rod and Adora.
Adora's got the experience as she's coming firing away with the double axe.
Waistlock here, no. Thinks better of it. And a huge splash there, standing cross body.
Does not go for the cover, gonna continue the offense. Waistlock.
J-Rod just too tall, just too strong is the ultimate athlete.
Firing away with those back elbows, trying to get out of this position is J-Rod.
Adora dropping to her knees.
Great bridge, innovative offense.
Well, and it speaks to the quick thinking of Trish Adora. She realized she wasn't going to be able to muscle J-Rod up. Instead of just releasing the waistlock, dropping to her knees for that much-needed leverage.
Time to innovate, time to improvise. And it shows a certain level of savvy in the ring.
Once again, the Vendetta kick.
One of her favorite moves, that's her spin wheel kick.
Johnnie Robbie, knee straight to the face.
Shades of Kenny Omega there.
Huge big boot from J-Rod. Shades of Stan Hansen there. But nobody home on that red corner. And are we going to see it?
Here's the package we were talking about.
It's going to be the special delivery. Oh, special delivery backbreaker there.
Tossed over to her partner.
Once again, the German suplex. Didn't need to go down to her knees this time. Nice bridge. Gets her the victory.
Excellent.
Time, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Here are your winners, Johnnie Robbie and Trish Adora.
Frankly, Jordan, I hope we see more of all 4 of these wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Once again, your winners of the match, Johnnie Robbie and Trish Adora.
In New Japan, strong, tremendous athletes, bright futures for all 4 of them, I believe.
Absolutely, some much needed momentum, some much lauded momentum for Johnnie Robbie, heading into that debut for both CMLL and New Japan Strong at the end of the month, and Trish Adora keeping her winning ways going. Gotta think returning to Ring of Honor with this win under her belt.
The New Japan Strong women's division has been heating up, and I can see all 4 of these women playing a very big part of it in the future.
And take absolutely nothing away from Van or J-Rod, looking very, very impressive in defeat. But it was the main event showcase from our inaugural Academy Showcase. Adora and Robbie clenching out the victory here in this, our semi-main event.
Johnnie Robbie's 2-0 in these showcases so far. She won in the main event last time. She won here with her tag team partner Trish Adora this time. And speaking of main events.
Tonight's main event is a singles contest. One fall with a 30-minute time limit.
Mark, we mentioned it at the onset. This is a New Japan Strong showcase.
That's right. Really important for us to note, right? This is a match that's part of the Academy Showcase, but specifically billed as a New Japan Strong contest. So this is Matt Vandagriff's New Japan Strong debut.
A graduate in the form of the aerial chemist, head-to-head with one of New Japan Strong's greatest, in Rocky Romero.
It's not an exaggeration to say that this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, matches in Matt Vandagriff's career.
Blue corner, 5 feet 11 inches, 205 pounds, aerial chemist, Matt Vandagriff!
Vandagriff, a native of Vegas. He's someone who I think is on the precipice of his career, a real turning point. He's gotten big eyes for a very, very long time, has made appearances for top independent promotions across the West Coast, such as Game Changer Wrestling, but he really needs to put up or shut up at this point. It's time for Matt Vandagriff to go big or go home, essentially.
A win here could catapult him. A win here in the main event of this showcase could do huge things for his career. We heard what Fred Rosser said. New Japan Pro Wrestling officials are watching.
New Japan Strong officials are watching, and in the case of SoCal, Rocky Romero, well, they're wrestling Vandagriff.
If you're not already intimidated enough, having to take on the incredible Rocky Romero, he came out with gold around his waist, Jordan.
He is the current NWA World Historic Welterweight Champion, a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion as Black Tiger 4, and a former 8-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team.
Red corner, Chaos, CMLL World Historic Welterweight Champion, Rocky Romero!
Rocky has had a tremendous career as a tag team wrestler. You were just noting those 8 junior heavyweight tag team title reigns in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's with 3 different partners, by the way, where I think makes it even more remarkable. But I think that Rocky Romero is on the best singles run of his career right now. He's been everywhere, all over the world. He's in New Japan, he's in Mexico, he's in AEW. He's doing it all, and he's doing it as a single.
The bell sounds and we are underway. It is main event time here at the Summer 2023 Academy Showcase.
You're Matt Vandagriff. A moment like this is what you've been dreaming about for all 7 years of your career in this business. You were dreaming about it before that. You were dreaming about it growing up as a kid, loving this business, deciding to get in it. You're dreaming about this lockup right here.
And I want to make it very, very clear. I think Matt Vandagriff, the aerial chemist, is an excellent professional wrestler. One of the very best on the West Coast. But this is a turning point. He needs victories like this. It's no longer about being good enough. It's no longer about being the best on the independents. We don't have time for qualifiers. Proverbial clock is ticking.
Rocky Romero, of course, plays an important role in this dojo as an advisor, and we've seen tonight already how the coaches have treated the students in their matches. They have been merciless.
Absolutely, and Rocky Romero, I should say Matt Vandagriff, doesn't even have the edge of Rocky Romero being one of his coaches. He didn't train directly with Rocky Romero, certainly not with the regularity he trained alongside a Fred Rosser or a Bateman or a DKC, so any reverence or respect that might be there, I'm not saying Rocky doesn't have it for Matt Vandagriff, but it is so much less so than any of those previous matches. You saw how violent they got.
Vandagriff had that cravat on tight. Took Rocky a while to find a way out of it, but the veteran did manage to find his way out of it.
Of course, at the inaugural Academy Showcase, Matt Vandagriff teaming with highly recommended Cameron Gates against Kevin Knight and the DKC. Very, very impressive showing.
Excellent tag team match. It was another situation where there were graduates against coaches. The coaches were victorious in that one.
You mentioned how world-traveled Rocky Romero is, Mark. You mentioned how you see him in Ring of Honor, how you see him in CMLL, how you see him here in NJPW. And it's worth noting that not only does Rocky Romero appear there, as we see an octopus stretch cinched in, he adapts his styles accordingly.
That's right.
He'll go into his lucha playbook when he's in CMLL. Shoulders down. Vandagriff able to evade, perhaps into a submission hold, a leg lock here.
And if you want to wrestle strong style, he'll wrestle you strong style.
He'll do that in New Japan.
If you want to wrestle in the junior heavyweight division, he'll wrestle in the junior
When he's in Ring of Honor, he wrestles the pure style. He reaches into his pure power. My point is that
he'll take on a heavyweight.
Indeed he will, as he did against Eddie Kingston, head-to-head for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship on AEW Rampage just a few weeks ago. Rocky Romero is a chameleon of a professional wrestler, can adapt to any style, but a bit of clearly having a tough time adapting to Matt Vandagriff in the early going here.
One thing that's standing out to me about Vandagriff's offense so far, he is not rushing into anything. He's being very careful. He's taking his time. He's got a game plan, and they're feeling each other out. And, you know, nerves can force you to rush, but he's not rushing.
Romero maybe looking for a figure four, a sharpshooter here. Yes, a sharpshooter from Rocky Romero, cinched in the center of the ring.
Nowhere to go. He's laying on the lion mark.
Absolutely nowhere to go. A country between Vandagriff and that bottom rope. But
Rocky's going to shift it. Look what Rocky's doing.
Oh! Shifts it over, and also as he drops down to the canvas, every single pound of his body weight digging into Vandagriff, and now we're going surfing. Whoa, no.
Vandagriff managed to sort of snake his way out of it.
Little Dale Azúcar from Rocky Romero there, a man who actually sings his own entrance music. Talking about multifaceted in front of and behind the camera here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Rocky Romero truly does it all.
Multi-talented. Both men are back to neutral corners. And I wonder what Rocky was thinking there. Maybe he's a little bit surprised at what Vandagriff has been bringing so far. And Rocky going to take it next level now.
Perhaps realize that Vandagriff, that he was losing his grip, but Vandagriff was finding his way out of that hold, adjusting accordingly as he snapmares Vandagriff down, double foot stomp onto the face there of Vandagriff, Mark.
King of sneaky style. If he has to get dirty, he'll get dirty. And of course, Rocky Romero, a member of the Chaos faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling, claims that Kazuchika Okada is his best friend. I'm skeptical.
Is that true?
Well,
Matt Vandagriff there leveling Rocky with those forearms to the face, and Rocky winding up perhaps for one of his own. And a poke to the eye. Shades of Mo, Larry, and
King of sneaky style. King of sneaky style.
and you see Rocky's a little apologetic. He's saying, I'm sorry, it's just the once, it won't happen again, Taito.
5 minutes
does
have
it when he feels like he
elapsed.
absolutely
5
needs
minutes.
Lays in another big chop, and you can already see Vandagriff's chest getting red from the chops, but he is going to try his best to hang, firing back at the veteran Rocky Romero.
You know, you mentioned a little bit earlier on, Mark, about how Vandagriff is slowing down the pace. We know he can take to the skies. He's called the aerial chemist for a reason.
Right.
But he's also called the aerial chemist. Emphasis on the chemist. Yes, he can fly. Yes, he is absolutely equipped to take to the skies. But he'll only do it when he absolutely needs to. As you're seeing here. Very strategic here from Matt Vandagriff, landing on his feet, evading that head scissors. One of his own, Rocky not so lucky.
Vandagriff not done yet, drop kick.
He brings that high flying into play when it is absolutely necessary, when he's found the perfect opportunity. Standing corkscrew moonsault, hook in a leg, only a two.
That is the aerial chemistry we're talking about. Rocky on the outside, Vandagriff noting it. And I can tell you already, as Rocky is reeling, Vandagriff has probably got some offense in mind.
It's not often you have someone like Rocky Romero, a champion the world over for 2 decades, staggered. Vandagriff has to capitalize, and indeed he does.
You are not safe on the outside if you're wrestling Matt Vandagriff.
Sending Rocky back inside the ring is Matt Vandagriff. Knows it's the only place he can win the matchup. An uppercut.
The fact that he's only using the high-risk aerial moves when he really needs to, as you mentioned, Jordan, I think is a mark of maturity in his game. He's become a more sophisticated wrestler.
He's no longer falling with style. He is the aerial chemist. A true thinking man's wrestler, a truly cerebral wrestler. Combining that with the athletic acumen, I think has taken Vandagriff to a whole nother level.
There against an NJPW legend in Rocky Romero.
Yes,
you know you're facing a man that's been at Wrestle Kingdom many, many times. He's been at the big shows. He's won Best of Super Juniors Tag League. He's been in there with everybody, everywhere. It's got to be tough to not be intimidated by that if you're Vandagriff.
Vandagriff is not looking intimidated right now. Twisting Rocky Romero a way that a human being just should not go here, Mark.
Oh, did you see that?
It was a little close to being below the belt there, but I think...
well, he just kicked the ropes. He just kicked the ropes.
Whatever happens next is just gravity. as Rocky doing everything he can to escape, does not want to be caught in a submission hold.
Vandagriff did his best to hang on to that foot. Right back on the offense there.
And Rocky, it's worth mentioning, a product of the original LA Dojo under Antonio Inoki here. So this really coming full circle for Rocky Romero here as he's firing up a kiss for the fans, maybe finding a second wind.
It's nice to see Rocky and AEW Wrestle Dream along with Tony Khan honoring Antonio Inoki, honoring the Inoki family. And Rocky being chosen for that role, I think says a lot about who he is and what he's been to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Rocky Romero here, wrenching the arm of Vandagriff. He can fly high, but as we mentioned, so multifaceted, so versatile, and just picking apart the arm of Vandagriff. He often employs that Diablo armbar as a game-ending maneuver, perhaps softening Vandagriff up.
Absolutely. And you wonder, in matches like this, a veteran against a younger wrestler, a danger for the veterans, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Could be cockiness, could be assuming I'll be able to wrap this up quickly.
Underestimating Vandagriff,
Underestimating your opponent, but a guy like Vandagriff, he's been thinking about this match perhaps a lot more than Rocky Romero has heading into it.
Rocky knows how good Vandagriff is. There's a reason that this is the main event of the Summer 2023 Academy Showcase. There's a reason, moreover, that this is a New Japan Strong Showcase, as Rocky, gotta be careful he doesn't get himself disqualified. So Rocky knows how good Vandagriff is, but you're right, a much busier schedule as both a wrestler and a facilitator and an advisor for the NJPW Academy. So it certainly doesn't have the laser focus of a Matt Vandagriff.
Talk about schedule, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Is it one of its most exciting times of the year right now? The Destruction Tour just wrapping up, Power Struggle coming, World Tag League coming, but we are on the road to Wrestle.
10 minutes have elapsed. 10 minutes.
10 minutes have elapsed, and Rocky has got to be very careful here, Mark. He is taking it right down to the wire here with Taito's counts. Does not want to get himself disqualified against Vandagriff.
It's a 30-minute time limit, by the way, in this main event. It's our only 30-minute time limit of the night.
Of course, we mentioned New Japan Strong Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Las Vegas, Nevada. Johnnie Robbie will be competing on that event on October 28th. Buck Skinner, as we heard from Coach Fred Rosser, earning his way onto that event. Wow. Rocky Romero will also be in action, teaming with Tiger Mask, Sobrano Jr., and Adrian Quest against Atlantis, Mystico, Atlantis Jr., and the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
A lot of different styles on that Fighting Spirit Unleashed card. Lucha wrestlers, strong style wrestlers. It's going to be a fascinating night.
And as has been the case for many of these, shall we say, veteran versus blue chipper matchups, not exactly a coach versus a graduate matchup, but I'd say in the same vein. Matt Vandagriff in control in the early going, had that flurry at the onset. As soon as Rocky Romero was able to find his way back in, this has been all awesome.
He's got the armbar on tight. And, speaking of Fighting Spirit Unleashed, there are more matches to be announced. We know Tetsuya Naito's going to be on that show. We know Sonata is going to be on that event.
IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Who will they be wrestling? Will Sonata still be the champion by October 28th? Will Sonata be the champion by the Tokyo Dome on January 4th? Will Tetsuya Naito still have the contract that he won in the G1 this year? Is he challenging?
Vandagriff really favoring that arm here, Mark. Trying to find his way back in. But Rocky Romero, impeccable cardio, staying right on top of the aerial chemist.
Trying to unload with those infinity clotheslines in the corner, one of Rocky's favorite offensive maneuvers, but he got caught.
Tiger fake kick there from Vandagriff into the springboard drop kick.
Beautiful offense. He's so worn down, he's not able to capitalize and get over the cover or another offensive maneuver. Rocky's taking a lot out of it.
You see, just trying to squeeze some feeling back into that hand. Again, Vandagriff is hurting here, Mark, and much of his offense is neutralized. We talked about it with the legs earlier on tonight when Jordan Oasis faced Keita. It's the same with the arms. When one of your limbs is out of commission, when you got a clipped wing, that changes everything.
Your game plan goes out the window. You've got to improvise. And Vandagriff may be improvising now as he's firing with boots in the corner.
Improvising very nicely as the aerial chemist. Nice follow through there.
Guided the head with his foot. And a big power bomb coming.
A buckle bomb! And a spear!
Turn him inside out. Go for the cover. You got to go for it now.
He could have it one. Vandagriff beats Rocky Romero. Not yet. And it's worth pointing out on that buckle bomb, those are not the traditional pro wrestling turnbuckles you might be used to. Those are the quote-unquote boxing turnbuckles, and so it hurts that much more if you're Rocky Romero.
That's right. Traditional in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the large buckles that cover the entire corner area.
Vandagriff maybe measuring for the anecdote kick, but Rocky had it scouted, catching the leg.
Got a single leg crab, leaning back into it.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. We started with the traditional Boston Crab, nearly ending Hex versus Legstrong, excuse me.
Twisting the knee in a way it shouldn't bend, pressure on the quad.
And now,
dragging him back to the center. His face is on the lion mark. In the middle of the ring is Vandagriff.
The single-legged Boston Crab could be all she wrote for Matt Vandagriff. But Rocky losing some of his grip. Oh,
inside cradle.
Could be it. No. Crucifix. No. Sunset flip instead. Only a 2.
Rocky hung onto the foot. Veteran move. Going back to the arm. Remember this? Rocky hasn't forgotten it. Hammerlock. Getting the other arm now.
He's looking for that Diablo armbar. Oh, my goodness. As I said, continuing to soften Vandagriff up.
The human body is not supposed to bend that way.
And with every single torque, with every single wrench, Rocky gets one step closer to Matt Vandagriff tapping out to that Diablo.
Stopping his way over, big chop. Rocky taking his time.
So precise is Rocky Romero. Every single strike, every single kick.
Well said, Johnnie.
15 minutes have elapsed. 15 minutes.
Oh, and he catches him. With the Diablo armbar. Does he have it cinched in?
Vandagriff's got to get out of this immediately.
He's trying to interlace those fingers.
Get a leg on the rope. If he reaches, he might be able to get a foot on the rope.
But Vandagriff has got to be in agony after all the punishment been doled out. Oh, he's got the shoulders of Rocky Romero down, and he is deadlifting him.
Oh, how about some power from Vandagriff?
The power to do that to Rocky Romero is impressive enough as is, Mark, but the power to do that with a clipped wing, incredible.
And a version of the Styles Clash almost takes Rocky down and out.
This is awesome! This is awesome!
Both men down, referee taken right in there.
See Vandagriff really nursing that arm here. But he is full of piss and vinegar. He is not going to go quietly into the night. Not in the main event of NJPW Academy Showcase. Not against Rocky Romero.
But neither is Rocky Romero. He's got a lot of work in on that arm. You know he's going to keep working that arm. And how much longer can Vandagriff last if Rocky continues the offense on that limb? Oh, he said hit me. He was calling for it. Talking a little trash with Romero.
You see the sweat flying Vandagriff on those spaghetti legs. Neither one of these men giving an inch, but Rocky Romero firing back.
Fighting spirit unleashed right here.
Educated feet of Matt Vandagriff here and now off the ropes. Too quick for comfort for Rocky Romero, but finally catches Vandagriff with a jumping knee. Oh, he's going for sliced Rocky, perhaps.
Yes, he was.
But Vandagriff caught him in midair.
Well scouted. He was ready. Telegraphed it. And Vandagriff.
You mentioned the Styles Clash. No variation, but still not enough.
Let's give him credit. Matt Vandagriff is hanging with Rocky Romero, and Rocky Romero is not going lightly on Vandagriff in this match.
Vandagriff may be seconds away from not just hanging, but picking up a victory. 450, but nobody home, lands on his feet.
And Zaguri duck. Came back around the other way and caught him.
Did not duck that. Again going for that sliced
Yes,
Rocky.
he is. Rocky really wants to finish this thing off.
Sliced Rocky!
Oh!
Vandagriff kicked out.
Everybody here thought that was all, including us, Jordan.
Including Rocky, most importantly of all. I mean, fans watching at home, if you're unfamiliar with Rocky Romero, that is a game-ending maneuver for the NWA World Historic Welterweight Champion. And somehow, someway, Vandagriff is still in this thing.
Yeah, but Rocky's measuring him, and Rocky's getting ready to put him away. And Rocky has not forgotten about that arm, and he will not let up on it.
If the sliced Rocky didn't get the job done, he's going to go for that Diablo. But Vandagriff, blue thunder bomb!
Count him!
Rocky kicks out! What a matchup here, Mark. What a main event!
He was inches away from the biggest win of his career.
And now, heading back up to that high red district, putting the aerial in Chemist. Got caught. Caught him with the axe handle, did Romero. Those chirping chops to the chest. I don't know how, but they seem to get harder and louder and more devastating with every single one he hits.
He's got his arm on the top rope, but Vandagriff slipped out underneath.
Hold on. An enziguri kick to the back of Romero.
Way up high.
I think that back is screaming after the blue thunder bomb. No.
High rent, high risk.
No.
Vandagriff is going for it all here.
Vandagriff can't be thinking of back suplex.
Uh-oh.
But Romero transitions!
Got control.
Avalanche slice Rocky!
And that is all. What a main event. The second ever.
19 minutes and
Academy
32
Showcase.
seconds. Here is your winner, Rocky Romero.
Vandagriff went 19 minutes and 22 seconds with one of the best wrestlers in the world today.
We talked about how he needed it. We talked about how he needed to prove his soul, how he needed to go big or go home, how he needed to sink or swim. And tonight, Matt Vandagriff swam.
If you're Rocky Romero, though, how could you not respect that performance from Matt Vandagriff? Rocky's got the...
Good evening, Los Angeles! Thank you. It's been a long time. First of all, this is my home. This is a place where I grew up. SoCal wrestling, I cut my teeth each and every week. For years and years and years to finally become a champion all over the world. New Japan Pro Wrestling. CMLL. Ring of Honor. You see me every other week on AEW. Other week. Sometimes you see me pop up a Ring of Honor, Impact, MLW, CMLL, and of course my home New Japan Strong. But we got a special thing going on here, and that's the NJPW Academy. And all the guys and the girls that join this system become better, stronger, and faster. Every single training session, we got the best coaches in the world. We got Keita. We got Fred Rosser. We got Bateman. We got DKC. And we're screwed, Rocky. Romero. That time was special. Tonight, buddy, you went almost 20 minutes. We're one of the best of all time. And I think, my friend, I think you went hard enough and you showed enough heart that we're going to give you an opportunity. I saw Fred Rosser giving passes out to New Japan Strong in Las Vegas, October 28th. Hope to see y'all there. It's going to be a hell of an event. But Vandagriff, I want to give you a shot at NJPW Strong. So how about a strong survivor match? Vandagriff versus Buck one-on-one in Las Vegas!
Wow!
What do you say, kid? What do you say?
Hell yeah. I said, hell yeah, I'll take the opportunity.
I don't know if Vandagriff knows it, but Buck Skinner is out here now.
It's okay, I don't have to be tired if I just went 20 minutes around here now. It's all good. Anyway, seriously. Whoa. Uh-oh. We got ourselves a Mexican standoff here. Two Mexican talents. And a Puerto Rican. Right here. All right, so what's up, Buck? You accept?
100%.
Vandagriff?
I already gave you my answer.
Oh, we're gonna see it live in Las Vegas, folks! Your promoter, Don Rocky Romero, is promoting this match. Strong Survivor in Las Vegas. Hit my music!
October 28th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It will be Fighting Spirit Unleashed on Fight Plus, and it will be graduates Buck Skinner and Matt Vandagriff head to head.
Matt Vandagriff may not have won the match, but it is clear he won the respect of Rocky Romero, and he won himself an opportunity.
John Rocky, ain't no more John Jay. I'm the best promoter in the business. No, don't tell Tony Khan.
Rocky says he's the best promoter in the business.
Respect Tony Khan.
Respect Tony Khan. Yes.
That's right, because they're the best promoters in the business. But Rocky and Romero promoting this match. Look, I'm putting matches together. I'm the greatest of all time. Put me over, go ahead.
He's the greatest of
Rocky's
all
making
time.
He's making matches out here.
Victorious in our main event is Azucar Rocky Romero, a timeless legend here of the LA Dojo system. Mark, what a night.
We knew it was going to be an exceptional evening here at the Academy Showcase. We didn't know how this Academy Showcase was going to lead to immediate opportunities in New Japan Strong for a couple of the competitors here. Buck Skinner, Matt Vandagriff, they're going to be there October 28th, Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Join us live in Vegas or live on pay-per-view.
We thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on October 28th in Vegas, and we will see you here at the NJPW Academy. For Jordan Castle and Mark Warzeka, this has been the Summer 2023 Academy Showcase. We'll see you next time.
NJPW Academy at the LA Dojo. Looking to start your journey or add to your existing knowledge? NJPW Academy is the place to be. There's only one place to get New Japan Strong, and that's the NJPW Academy. Head to njpw1972.com for more information.
I want you for NJPW Academy.